Good morning. Today, our church celebrates this wonderful day called Pentecost, the sign of Pentecost. If you look at the first reading, it says that St. Peter talked to the people who had assembled. And the people were from 14 different places in the world. They had all come to Jerusalem. But the reading says that each of them understood what St. Peter was saying. They understood it in their own language. Often, when I meet people, people will ask me and say, well, Father, what do you do? And I say, well, I work in the deaf community. They're very curious. They want to know what I do. And I explain that in the deaf community, the language of most people is ASL, American Sign Language. And they'll look and say, well, I thought sign language was universal. I'm like, no, it's not universal. Every country, every culture has their own sign language. And people say, well, why? I said, well, are all cultures' life experiences the same? Well, no. It's the same for sign language. So, talking about sign language, there's different sign languages just like there's different spoken languages. But the first reading says that everyone understood in their own language. So that's really important for us to know that the gospel is not in one language. The gospel is for all people, no matter their language, no matter their culture. And so in the second reading from St. Paul, what does he say? There's different skills. There's different services. There's different ways we experience church and understand who is God. But St. Paul says, there's one Lord. In sign language, even though there's all these different kinds of sign languages in the world, there's only one sign for Jesus. And that sign is Jesus. No matter the sign language, if you meet a person from China, from South Africa, doesn't matter. The sign is the same, Jesus. And you think about that. For people who are deaf, that idea that Jesus is the person who suffers for us and suffers with us. Long ago in the history of the church, there were some people who said, Jesus is truly God's son, but he's not human. It's impossible. And the church said, no, Jesus is both God and human. But those people said, he can't, because Jesus suffered. God can't suffer. But the church said, Jesus is truly God and truly human. So Jesus truly suffered for us where? On the cross. Jesus suffered for us to take away our sins, but also Jesus suffered with us to remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. The gospel we have today is just such a wonderful gospel. Jesus has risen from the dead. And he comes and he appears in front of his apostles. And the apostles are scared. They think that Jesus is dead forever. And Jesus appears, and what does he say? Peace. Peace be with you. And that's Jesus' message for us. no matter our struggles, no matter our doubts and anxieties and fears, Jesus offers us his peace. So during this time, as we continue to wait and wonder and at times struggle, allow Jesus' peace to fill our hearts, to touch us, and let us know that we're not alone, that Jesus is with us forever.